Celebrity culture is literally just a extremely extended premium walking goddamn ad. I sat through the Grammys tonight because I love my mother and because she likes to watch stuff like that, and that is the only fucking reason why I just put up with the literal fucking unfathomably worthless, inhuman, fake, absolutely self-celebratory, absolutely pathetic self-cocking off celebrity fucking oversaturated bullshit that I just saw. And I'm going to explain why my frustration is justified, because if I don't, I might have a schizophrenic meltdown and implode. This entire time these celebrities are doing these award shows, they keep landing these really like grounded statements that they know for a fact is going to affect everyone in some way because they have that kind of voice, unfortunately. And every single breath they were saying statements like, this person has been like one of the best musicians of this generation. And these literally one of the fucking idiots said when he was presenting the award, this is this is the best music, the most exciting music in the entire world. And it is so fucking malicious and pathetic. It's like watching a bunch of little kids who desperately need to constantly reinvalidate to their pathetic, fragile egos that they're like the most amazing, most talented people, and they're the ones that deserves all the superiority and all the riches and all the success and the fame, and their big, fat, ugly, oversaturated, untalented faces all over the fucking movie screens and TV screens and getting all their rewards in this foggy, celebrity-only based building because celebrities are the only ones that are going to validate that absolutely fucking stupid narrative and that incredibly toxic narrative. And unfortunately, it takes you about 20 some years of being alive before you begin to realize how completely morbidly stupid and fucking unnecessarily narcissistic and toxic and degrading celebrity culture is for most Americans, where depression is very prevalent. And if you spent even 1 second in the real world, if these stupid fucking self-celebrating, untalented, utterly forgettable when it comes to their actual craft fucking cocks did, if they actually spent a minute in reality, they would see how true that actually is. And it just kept going on and on. It was just the same thing over and over. It was the same rotation of the same stars that either were famous from childhood, were born in California, or some other advantage in some way that becomes very obvious to you once you learn how the real world works. And what's even worse is that the music was so fucking boring. It was either overplayed or oversaturated. I'm looking at you, what was I made for? Or it's just the shit that has already been played 1,000 times like the past year, and whenever it was released and began to pollute the aggressive sheep that defend these people, which are basically usually evil people that are just as arrogant as much as these worthless celebrities. They just don't have the platform or the connections to actually have power with that evil, so they try to make their cheap, worthless character mean something by clinging on to someone who does have power. And it just makes me like literally implode. Like, makes me so angry. Like, I can't even think straight because of how angry I am and how fucking aggravated and traumatized I am from being an adult in America as a creative, spiritual, sensitive, creative person who is genuinely better than these people. Because I actually make genuine art that is authentic and true and reflective. And it's not just me. I am angry over every single person on this earth that is being gaslit and abused every single day into thinking that they just don't have it in them, or they're not as good as these people, or that their music isn't as exciting or as interesting, or their art or movies or whatever the fuck it is. It is such absolute fucking brainwashing bullshit, and it makes me angry that more people on this app and any other app don't even acknowledge or even talk about this. If anything, they just casually consume celebrities and they just act like this isn't morbidly fucking deranged, this whole culture. If you will create a Reddit account and if you actually talk to real life people, you will see how bad it actually is. How many people want to be actors, artists, how many people make really good, exciting music with good, profound lyrics every single fucking day. And it makes me so fucking angry if I'm exposed for even 1 second these days to what we call successful A-list people, because it is a bunch of brainwashing, literal brainwashing trash. Because these songs, some person, a celebrity, made a song once a year ago, and the song and the lyrics were not really that profound or that interesting. Sure, it sounds good. Sure, it's a good song. but it doesn't deserve to be claimed as the world's most interesting song. It doesn't deserve to give someone millions upon millions of money while other just as equally talented, interesting people suffer and work terrible jobs and are emotionally and spiritually manipulated and gaslighted into thinking that they don't have it in them. It doesn't justify the amount of literal evil that happens when these people make these songs and are overbloated with praise from other overly bloated, sheltered people that don't want to face the goddamn music of how full of bullshit their whole celebrity brand and therefore existence actually is, and how toxic and worthless it actually is when it comes to actual humanity, and the suffering that is happening by this fucking narrative that only specifically these 60-some famous people in this Grammy Award show are the ones that are worth the salt of anything, that they get to be praised, that they get to have a sense of genuine community with their work, that they get to be celebrated, that they get to have their big, obnoxious, ugly, replaceable, forgettable face right along with their music to be claimed as the most interesting and or the most interesting music of the world. And the reason why this gets me angry is because these people that are broadcasting these words have actual power. Of course, I know that people like to praise their peers, and of course they like to support the people around them. But these people, these absolute literal worthless, spoiled, rotten man children whose egos are the size of the entire world and beyond, quite literally in this case, these fucking people. And they made that clear when they said that these people were the most interesting music artists in the world, which is absolute fucking bullshit. I meet more talented, interesting people just by casually opening up BandLab every single night. But they know what they're doing. They know that they're brainwashing 99% of people who unfortunately don't think for themselves, can't think for themselves, or are young and impressionable, and affecting adults with the garbage they post online defending these trash idiots that we call celebrities. And it just really sucks because these words actually have a lot of power in terms of how people talk to you at work, how they talk to you on social media, what they consume, what they believe. I have lost count at this point, the amount of friendships and relationships that I have lost, literally just because I couldn't stand the fact that all they ever talked about was the A-list pop star that has only been known for like 4 songs that aren't even really that particularly memorable or good. And there's a reason why celebrities are so fucking boring. If you are someone that has actually experienced a genuine day-to-day humanity and reality, it's because the entire idea of like this idea of special people, like people who work in movies, actors, maybe certain screenwriters, etc. You get the idea. This idea that like there's only like 20% of talented people and that everybody else just isn't talented, isn't good, is garbage, isn't worth anything is absolute trash. It's absolute trash, and it's brainwashing because it wants people to feel spiritually weak. And so celebrities who run these Grammys, the fucking overrated, worthless, talentless, forgettable pop stars that will be claimed as king and queens for the rest of their life, no matter what is actually true. All these people that are constantly fueling this narrative that like they're the 20% that are creating the most interesting music alive, which is so fucking pathetic because every song that came on tonight was so forgettable and so overplayed and so oversaturated, and it wasn't even that great the first time. And there's songs that are made that are just as good or better being made every minute of every day, by the way, that will never get exposure. And it's just like a massive bland ad. You know how like when an ad comes up and you know it's all fake and you know it's garbage and they say this is the best product of all time, and we all know that in actual reality that is the farthest thing from the true, and that anybody who's worth their salt doesn't give a damn. That's literally all that American celebrities are. That's all that the entertainment industry is. That is all that it is. It's just a massive fake brainwashing ad to keep people sad, to keep them against each other, to keep telling people that they're not talented, that they're not one of the special people, that they don't have the talent. The reason why I know this is literally only because of apps like TikTok and like BandLab, where regular people who weren't born into the business or weren't born in California or whatever are able to have a goddamn voice to express themselves and to show that it is in fact true that when pretty much almost anyone has the time, the space, and the health, and the self-esteem and the support to create, what do you know? They're just as talented and they're just as good as these over-bloated millionaires that are literally running the world on a spiritual level, which in my opinion, in some ways, is even more detrimental and even more powerful and devastating than running the world on a financial one. Because ultimately, if people's spirits are completely depleted, they can't control themselves and they'll turn against each other, and that's it.